It's estimated that 50% of Americans who get married will end up divorced. And it's estimated, in fact, it's even measured, that over 50% of the reason given for divorces is finances. But it's been my experience that finances and financial problems are really only symptomatic of poor communication. Husbands and wives rarely sit down and set financial goals together, and there's good reason for that. They don't have a process of talking with one another. They come at the financial world with a difference in background, training, personalities, and you put two people who with all of those differences into one checkbook, and you're bound to have conflict. One of the ways to avoid the conflict is for a husband and wife to sit down and say, what goals do we want to set? And let's begin to set those goals. My wife and I, many, many years ago, we took a planning weekend, and we went into separate bedrooms in the condominium we were staying at, and we both wrote down all of our goals, financial goals and other goals. We spent a couple of hours doing that. Then we came back together and we spent Saturday afternoon comparing our list. And what we found is that in about 80% of the cases, we were in agreement on the goals. We'd been talking about these goals, but we had never, ever defined them. The 20% were really the problem to us because that's where we had conflict. I like what my mentor, Dr. Howard Hendricks, says: God did not give you a spouse to frustrate you, but to complete you. And what I have found over time is that when Judy and I sit down and go through goal setting together, that we eliminate a lot of the potential conflict and we make some really good decisions that are our decisions rather than my decisions or her decisions. Many times, husbands and wives don't want to talk about goals because they know that they've got conflict, but the best way to overcome conflict is to have a communication process. And I would encourage you, as a husband and or a wife, to sit down with your spouse and say, what is it that we would like to accomplish over the next year, 5 years, 10 years, or 15 years? And once you do that, you'll find yourself on the same path as opposed to conflicting paths.